So we're having this conversation a month before Self-Made God releases your third album,
Mm-hmm.
which is called Defiance.
Mm-hmm.
Defiance will be coming out on the 23rd of February. As you mentioned, the writing for this was a little bit different than your previous albums. Musically, how would you describe this album? How would you compare it to your previous two?
Well, the more you play in a band, the more you know the sound that you want, the final product. And then also, you are shaped better. So I feel like this album is the best album we've put out because, first of all, it's our third album with Mike. So Mike gets it now, like he understands the music, or not that he didn't understand it before, but he just is more familiar with it. It's more natural for him. Same for us. I mean, we've been jamming for a long time, so it's it's so natural for us to just know what Hypoxia is heading to as a band. It's like since we've done 3 albums now, so yeah, it's just more defined. It's better, like technically too, because I've gotten to learn so much more about drums and more stamina. We're all overall better musicians since been playing for longer, and it's just really good.
You have a new guitarist on this album as well, right?
Yeah, so Ryan Moll, he's really good friends with Mike, and he actually, so when we recorded our previous album, Abhorrent Disease, he helped us with our shows, with the release shows, and we had a lot of fun together, and we're like jamming and all that. So, and since he learned all the material, and we were hoping that we could play a lot more shows together, but that was the only show that he played, which was in San Vitus in New York. And we stayed in touch, and we started working on the new album right away. So then Carlos asked him if he wanted to be involved, and he said yes. So it just happened in a really good way. Friendly and no egos or nothing like that.
When did you actually start work on writing this album?
I'm gonna say the first song, which is Pathway to Karen, we started working on that song in 2017, 2016. And then slowly.
So even before the previous
Yes.
album came out.
Yeah. So when we got together, we jammed. We practiced twice a week. Our routine was always play the songs, and then at the end of practice, we would always work on something new. So we would have to force ourselves to work on something new. And so whenever we started working on something new, that same thing will come up in the next practice at the end, and we just kept evolving that same new thing that we were working on last time until we became a song.
Okay. When were you guys finished?
We finished I want to say last year, early last year. Yeah, because the whole thing was finished, mixed and mastered in August. So I think Mike got the final, how the songs were shaped and all that, and the actual drums recorded in I'm gonna say February, March.
Where did you guys end up recording the album?
I recorded the drums here in Ohio at Mercenary Studios. Is Noah Buchanan. He's really good. He also records Midnight and all the local bands here in Ohio. He also plays in Manslaughter, so he knows about metal. Yeah. So he when we told him what we wanted, he immediately got it, which was great.
Did everyone else record their parts remotely?
So my recorder, he has a home studio, and bass player, yes, he recorded in Florida, Mike Bogion, and then Ryan sent his solos because Carlos recorded. He did all the tracking at home, but then he came to Ohio to reamp all the guitars with Noah and just do last minute things. So then everything was sent to Noah, and he mixed and mastered everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had you worked with Noah before?
Yes, I recorded. Actually, it was my third time going to Noah to record. No, actually, no. When I recorded Hypoxia, I mixed everything in my head. That was the first time I recorded with him. And then after that, I kept going to him because I recorded 2 more times after I recorded the Hypoxia. So yes, that was my first time recording drums with him.
What do you like about working with Noah?
Well, he's just really professional, and he's also like a cool dude, like to work with. He knows what, drums in metal are supposed to sound like, because that's something that has to be very specific. So yeah.
What would you say he brought to the sound of the album in terms of mixing and mastering?
Noah?
Yeah.
I believe he brought a more organic sound, more what we wanted to sound like. It was really hard for us to find that. He brought clarity, like it just sounds bigger in a different way than the previous albums. Just it works kind of like old school, so that comes out in the recording.
When you say he works old school, what do you mean by that?
I mean that he doesn't like to take a lot of shortcuts.
Okay, gotcha.
Like the quality of the sound is more important than saving time or trying to get it done with a computer.
Yeah, gotcha. So this will be your second album for Self-Made God.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys end up getting signed with him?
Through Mike Rubobchek. He's really good friends with Carol, and Carol pretty much supports anything Mike is on. And he happens to like hypoxia, so it's really cool to work with him the first time, and so I'm sure it's going to be just as awesome this time.
So Mike knew Ryan and Mike knew the record label. It sounds like Mike's got all the connections.
Yeah. So when we were scrambling for like a second guitar player for the show, it was like, oh, let me ask my buddy Ryan, So Ryan was immediately in. Same with Mike Guillaume. Like, they're friends. It's just Mike is a very professional person, and he's, like, he gets the job done. So anybody's gonna like working with Mike. Like if Mike asked me to be in any project he's in, I'm gonna be like, yes,